Hello everyone. The official answer key of GATE has been officially released on their website, and in today's class I will be discussing solution of GATE psychology questions in detail. So we will start from first question. Dash is the white fatty layer covering the axon that increases the speed of conduction of nerve impulses. Let's go through options one by one. First option given is cell membrane. So we all know cell membrane is the protective covering of cell, and it protects the cell from external damage and control what enters and exits the cell. So it is not relevant to our question, so it will not be the answer. Now the second option is bulb. Bulb means synaptic bulb. It is present at the end of axon terminal and it contains neurotransmitter. So this is also not the correct answer. Now the third option is myelin sheath, which is the correct answer of our question, as it surrounds the axon and it is made up of two compounds, lipid and protein, which is why it appears as a white fatty layer as it is given in the question, and its main function is to insulate the axon and increase the speed of nerve impulse conduction. So it is the correct answer of our question. Fourth option given is synaptic cleft, which is found between two neurons, and it helps the neurotransmitter to enters the another neuron, so it help in increasing the speed of impulse conduction. So this is also an incorrect answer. Now coming to second question. EEG is a record of electrical activities of nerve cell. The range of frequency of EEG is how many hertz? We all know EEG stand for electroencephalogram, and it is used to measure the electrical activity of nerve cell in the brain. Now in psychology we mainly study five type of brain waves, which are delta, theta, alpha, beta and gamma, which ranges from 1 hertz to more than 50 hertz. So the most relevant answer of this question is 1 to 50 hertz, as it includes from delta to gamma all range of the waves. Next question is, which of the following is true about contours in visual form perception? First, let's understand what contours are. Contours are lines or border that are formed due to change in brightness, color or texture. These contours help in defining the shape of a visual object. Let's understand with an example. Suppose you have a white sheet of paper and you draw a black circle on it. Now the boundary between the black circle and the white background is called a contour. Because of that particular boundary, we are able to recognize that a circle is drawn on the paper. This contour arises because there is a difference in brightness between black and white, and because of this contour only we can see objects on any white background. Now let's go through the options one by one. First is contours are formed due to brightness difference between the object and background. So yes, it is correct, as we have seen that we are able to see that black circle because of contour only. Second option is contours never provide shape to the object, so it is incorrect because that circle is drawn and it is providing the shape. Third option is reversible figure do not involve contour, so this is also incorrect because reversible figure like vase phase illusion, in that same contour is present but our interpretation changes. Sometimes we see the vase and sometimes we are seeing the two faces, so contours are very much involved. And the fourth option is camouflage works when contours do not break. So this is also incorrect because camouflage actually works when contour break or merge with the background. For example, when an army person dresses like grass in a forest, their body outline blends with the surrounding. So it becomes more difficult to distinguish them from the background. So it works in a opposite way. So this is also incorrect option, and correct answer is option A. Now next question is, which of the following statements is not true? First option is, we remember the inferences made at the time of encoding and storage. So a very famous study by Frederick Bartlett has been done related to War of Ghosts study, which shows that people do not remember information exactly as it is presented. Instead, they apply their cultural background and past experiences while remembering the information. and people omit the details which do not fit their cultural schemas and transform details which makes more sense to them. So this shows that we remember the inferences and conclusion formed during encoding and storage. So this option is correct. Now the second option is modification in memory can happen due to constructive processes. So according to all the constructivist theories, memory is not static. As we gain any new knowledge, our memory become updated and reconstructed. So this option is also correct. Third option is visual images are partial representation of the world around us. We all know that we have biological limitation of vision, as we can't take 100% of the stimulus for our environment. We also have cognitive limitation in that, and our brain selects only the relevant information which we needed at that particular moment. So this option is also correct. It is asking not true, so it will be the fourth option, which is the organizational encoding can never be inherent in the input. So there are two viewpoints for that option. First is, according to all the constructivist theory, meaning is given by the observer to the stimulus, and any stimulus does not contain any inherent meaning. But if we look at James Gibson ecological theory, it says that stimuli do have inherent physical properties. For example, a chair already has specific structure, like it has two arms, a seat, and a backrest. So these properties exist in the stimulus itself, and we are simply perceiving them and creating through encoding. So this, because of this never word, this statement is incorrect. Otherwise, it is partially true. Next question is, which of the following is not related to Adler's individual psychology? Alfred Adler proposed individual psychology, and he gave importance to holistic view of the individual. He also gave importance of childhood experiences, and he tells the four styles of life, which are ruling, getting, avoiding, and socially useful type. Also, he gave the concept of fictional finalism, in which behavior is guided by imagined future goals. He also talked about birth order, which is a very important theory of personality given by him, in which the order of birth developed the personality of an individual. So, the option which says birth order is not a determinant of personality is the incorrect option. Next question is, which of the following is not true regarding MMPI inventory? MMPI stands for Minnesota Multiphasic Personality Inventory, and it is a non projective personality inventory which is mainly used in clinical settings for personality assessment and diagnosis of psychological disorders. Now we go through option one by one. First is empirical approach was used for test construction. So yes, it is a correct option because MMPI is constructed using criteria key approach, in which items were selected based on how well they differentiated between clinical groups and normal groups. So this is a correct option. Second is it has clinical scales. So yes, it has 10 clinical scales as we can see here. Third is it is used for purpose of diagnosis. So this is again true. MMPI is widely used in clinical psychology for assessing personality pattern and in diagnosis of disorders. So this is also correct. Fourth option is it does not have validity scales. So this is incorrect option because MMPI has many validity scales as we can see here. So this will be the correct option of this question. Next question is, which of the following is not associated with Rogers self theory? So the option third will be correct because self-efficacy is the term which is given by Albert Bandura. Now if we look at another term, so real self and ideal self are definitely related to Rogers self theory. So these are definitely associated with Carl Rogers, and phenomenal field is also the term which he talk about in his theory, which means that reality is perceived subjectively and every individual has a unique experience of the world around them. So the correct answer would be self efficacy. Each of the following conceptualization postulates that there are two codes and two systems of storage of information, imagery code and verbal code. So the correct option will be option D, dual coding hypothesis, because this hypothesis states that our brain process information through two connected channels, one for verbal information and another for non-verbal or visual information. For example, if you look at an apple, so our verbal system will process it with the word apple, but our visual system will process it like it's a red round fruit. So it will help you to make recall of this apple in a very easy manner. Also, if you want me to explain other terms or want to understand any other topic in detail, you can comment, so I will make a video on that. Next question is, who proposed the idea of decision frame? So the correct option is Tversky and Kahneman, the option B. They have conducted a very famous experiment related to decision framing and judgment. In that experiment, they gave participants two logically equivalent options, but they framed the options in a different way. Option 1 was to save 200 lives out of 600 people, and option 2 was 400 lives will not be saved out of 600 people. Although we can see that both the options are similar and lead to same outcome, but they observed that mostly people preferred option 1 because they think it as a gain frame. So it indicates that the way information is framed in terms of gain or loss, it can significantly influence people's decision. So yes, correct option would be Tversky and Kahneman, option B. Next is ethical consideration in research do not include. So ethical consideration means what the researcher in any research can directly control during the process of research, which includes many principles like confidentiality and human dignity, which is very fundamental, and participants' freedom to participate. But if we look at fourth option, it says social and legal justice for participants. So if we look at it, it's a very broad topic which is not a directly obligated duty of a researcher. So the least appropriate option will be the fourth option. Is transformational leadership is marked by which one of the following? First option says strict discipline imposed on the followers. So this is incorrect as it occurs in authoritarian type of leadership. Second option is reverence of the followers for the leaders and his or her vision. So this will be the correct option because in transformational leadership there is a respect in followers towards their leaders because of their vision towards the company benefit and towards the employee of this company. Third option is Machiavellian approach. So this is also incorrect because it means showing a cunning or sneaky behavior. So this doesn't occur in transformational leadership style. And fourth is democratic and authoritarian. So these are different type of leadership. So this is also incorrect. Next question is, a simple random sampling is one that satisfy. Condition A is each member of the population has an equal chance of being selected. So yes, this is correct because in simple random sampling, there is equal chance of being selected. This is basically definition of simple random sampling. Second condition is selection of every possible combination of desired number of members is equally likely. So it says that every possible sample of a given size is equally likely to be chosen. So yes, this is also correct definition of simple random sampling. Condition C states selection of a sample is based on pre-decided criteria. So this will be incorrect because in simple random sampling it involves chance selection. Pre-decided criteria are mostly used in non-probability sampling, and we in simple random sampling we use techniques such as fishbowl or lottery method for choosing our sample. So the correct answer would be option C, condition B and condition A. Next is Kohlberg argued that moral reasoning passes through different levels as people mature. In one of the level, he proposes that individuals' reasoning fits what many society consider to be acceptable moral rule. Which level is this? So Kohlberg gave a stage of moral development which include three stages. First is pre-conventional, then post-conventional. In pre-conventional, he says that moral reasoning is based on rewards and punishment given by caregivers. In conventional level, moral reasoning is based on the external ethics and the rules rules formed by the society. And in post conventional level, moral reasoning is based on personal ethics. So the most correct option of this question will be conventional level. Next is the nature nurture debate concerns the dash impact of heredity and environment. So, correct option will be option A, relative, because nature and nurture are not independent entity. They both impact each other and any individual. For example, intelligence may show higher genetic influence, but if we consider stress related disorder, then it varies greatly with environment influence. So they both have impact on an individual. So correct option will be option A. Next question is, find the value of standard error when standard deviation of the population is 10 and sample size is 100. So we can directly calculate it with the help of formula, which is standard error equal standard deviation by under root of sample size. So we can directly put the value from here, and correct answer will be option C, 1. In this question, we need to calculate value of standard deviation using these scores. So the formula of standard deviation is under root x minus x bar ka whole square upon में n. And n stands for number of scores or number of individuals. So its value will be 5. For calculating upper value, first we will calculate the mean of the scores, which is 13. After that, we will subtract the value of score with its mean. So we will get x minus x bar. Now for removing this subtraction sign, we will square all the values. So we will get these scores. Now we will take summation of these scores and directly put in our formula. So through this process, we get the answer of under root 2. Okay, thank you everyone for watching my video. If you like my video, please subscribe to my channel, and this is only part 1. I will be uploading part 2 tomorrow. Thank you and subscribe my channel.